We left off with Balaam. And what is Balaam thinking? Oh, I don't actually have to do what God told. I can just. Because what Balaam's really thinking is like, and I'll be getting money, I'll be rich, this will be great. So God does the whole donkey incident with Balaam talking donkey. And I know the objection to this. Isn't this kind of just silly? Isn't it silly? Isn't it silly? How is that? How is that an actual argument? Oh, it sounds silly. Okay, did it actually happen or not? Who cares if it sounds silly to you? You realize flat earthers think a global earth sounds silly. People who believe in a young earth think that the old earth sounds silly. Anti-evolutionist people think that evolution sounds silly. You can't just say something sounds silly and say, yeah, therefore it's not real. But there's scientific evidence, and yeah, it's a miracle. Of course, it's not going to go with science 100%. Duh. So God again reminds Balaam to only say what he tells him. Yeah, but the argument of it sounds silly. So, and what's really silly is thinking a miracle, by definition, something that has to be unique and different enough for people to go, oh, wow, that's something special. Because the donkey talked all the time, no one would think anything special of it. At all. It would just be like, oh, of course the donkey doesn't like me hitting it. Yeah. What's silly is just going, it did happen because I think it's silly. I'm not going to actually think logically about it. I'm going to say it's silly and not think logically about it at all. So, yeah, that's Balaam's donkey. Then he has some prophecies where he says, yes, how can I? From the rocky peaks I see them, from the heights I view them. I see a people who live apart and do not consider themselves one of the nations, who can count the dust of Jacob, the number the fourth part of Israel. Let me die in the death of the righteous, and may my end be like theirs. So obviously, yes, obviously that is blessing. No misfortune is seen in Jacob, no misery observed in Israel. The Lord is with them. The shout of the king is among them. It's just going to be going, it's silly, it's silly, it's silly, it's silly. Because they're so desperate to just laugh it off and not take it seriously. But if you laugh them off and not take them seriously, they get even more mad. The shout of the king is among them. God brought them out of Egypt. They have strengthened the strength of the wild ox. There is no sorcery against Jacob, no divination against Israel. It will now be said of Jacob and of Israel, see what God has done. The people rise like lionesses. They rouse themselves like a lion that does not rest till he devours his prey and drinks the blood of his victims. Yeah, what's so silly about believing that maybe if there was really a God out there, he could make a donkey talk? Maybe just transmit the thoughts of the donkey into the mind of the human. Well, that's just silly. Why? 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 Because you can't imagine it happening? Because you can't think of it happening? It just sounds too weird to you? That's it? So? There's a planet out there where it rains glass and rains diamonds on some point. Anyway, so that's another blessing. Then he's like talks again. What is this? Oh, how beautiful are your tents, O Jacob, your dwelling place is, O Israel, like the valleys that they spread out, like gardens beside a river, like aloe plants planted by the Lord, like cedars beside the waters. Water will flow from their buckets. Their seed will have abundant water. Their king will be greater than Ag. Their kingdom will be exalted. God brought them out of Egypt. They have the strength of a wild ox. They devour hostile nations and break their bones in pieces. With their arrows they pierce them. Like a lion they crouch and lie down. Like a lioness who dares rouse them. And Balaam's force is something a little special. I see him now. I see him, but not now. Okay, it starts with, I see him, but not now. I behold him, but not near. A star will come out of Jacob. A scepter will rise out of Israel. He will crush the foreheads of Moab, the skulls of all the sons of Shesh, which is possibly Moab, possibly, meaning with concerning probably more batter, of all noisy boasters. All noisy boasters. Edom will be conquered, Seir, his enemy, will be conquered, but Israel will grow strong. A ruler will come out of Jacob, a destroyer, and destroy the survivors of the city. I see him, but not now. I behold him, but not near. Many people see this as a reference to Jesus. People say this is a reference to David because he did all these things. Yeah. If you say the Hebrew prophecies can have a double fulfillment. That's literally what they believe. That's how they believe, that's how they view things. There's tons of historical evidence saying they think that way. Just because you just think it's weird does not mean that's how they view it. And you should be reading the Bible in context to how the ancient people would view things. If they can say a prophecy has double fulfillments and not care about it, then that's how they view it. And if it's true, well, then there's nothing silly about it. It's how it works. And it honestly makes a lot more sense than Greek. views of prophecy. Having a type and an antitype, or fulfillment of the type, and having all these things come together. Because noisy boasters, Jesus, before he gets crucified, calls Satan the Lord of the air, calling him literally the noisy one, the boastful. Yeah. So this would just be his enemies, these people who are against him, the powers of the world being crushed, not the actual physical Moab. So having the idea that prophecies can be delayed and depending on what happens, it sounds so much better than, yeah, you have no choice in the matter. Your choices will only bring about the prophecy. You have no free will. So yeah, sure you can find other examples of how this is through Jesus, but yes. So the final one, the Kenites, specifically the Kenites. Your dwelling place is secure. Your nest is set in a rock. Yet you Kenites will be destroyed when Asher takes you captive. Then he uttered this oracle. Ah, who can live when God does this? Ships will come from the shores of Kittim. They will subdue Ashur and Eber, but they too will come to ruin. Yes. The Balaam got up and returned home. But he may have told he gave him, the king, a little idea of what to do with Israel before he did. So, yeah. That's what we'll go over next time. Also, notice something about this great king coming out of Israel. It doesn't mention Judah at all. Not at all. If the Pentateuch was a completely made-up book, put together by a bunch of people to try to justify the kingdom of Israel being ruled by the tribe of Judah, nothing in this passage points to that being the tribe of Judah. They later came along and said they point towards David, but the word Judah is not mentioned once. Yeah, but it'd be a pretty bad job if you're trying to say, hey, look, we've been chosen to be kings since ancient times, when there's nothing here. That says that. So that's it. Another thing that atheists just get wrong, because the whole documentary hypothesis was thought up by people in Germany who've never actually studied ancient Hebrew, never knew anything about the ancient Near East, and just made a bunch of assumptions based on their modern understanding and not any ancient understanding and not how ancient people would view things, and just assumed that the ancient people would just think just like them, just like how people in the Middle Ages thought that everyone dressed just like them. And also were very anti-Semitic. Yeah. So the documentary hypothesis is utter garbage. And to defend this, they try to go, oh, but then it's really even smaller. Like, that's even more ridiculous. Like, this word is from this source and this source. There's billions of sources. It's like, oh, guys, just because you can't read doesn't mean it's true. So anyway, enjoy watching my other stuff. and I'll see you next time.